Hello, 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 and welcome to this next episode of the Pictory podcast. And today I am super excited to introduce to you um, somebody who's I've been working with in the last couple of months, and we've gotten to know each other, and we're gonna work together more in the future. We have just appointed her our brand ambassador, and I am super excited to introduce Zahrina. And Zahrina is she's a leading authority on video and personal branding, and she'll talk about that, what it means in a little bit as well. But she's written a book. I didn't know that. It's called Magnetic Branding: The Complete Guide for a Brand That Attracts. And She's also a photographer, a videographer, and she's taken pictures of folks like Richard Branson and Simon Sinek. She's worked with the Huffington Post. She was headhunted by Ariana Huffington personally. That's pretty impressive, Zarina. And she's a sought after speaker. She conducts workshops on personal branding and videography. And she's a guide, a coach to corporate startups, entrepreneurs, and many such things. So welcome, Zarina, to our podcast. And I am super excited to have you. Tell us a little bit more about you, then we'll go into some questions.
Oh, thank you. What a great introduction. I seriously am so heartfelt excited to join the Pictory team as your brand ambassador. I'm really excited. I'm based in Sydney and I'm an Aussie, and if you cannot tell already, so for some of you I might speak a little slower. For some of you I just got to speak. I'm going to help you guys, and I'm really excited because this is a really big this is a good moment to be a brand ambassador for Pictory, big and video, because the world has changed now. The world has changed, and if we're not on video, I don't know, like, what are you doing? So a little bit of my story is that I started off. I think I was actually born with a camera and a little paintbrush in my cot. I swear I was. And when that was a long time ago, and then since then I was growing up, I just developed the love of marketing and branding and people, and I really enjoyed that whole process. But my dad, as I was growing up, because I learned my creative streak through him, he would hold a camera and things like that. He never said to me, this is how you do it, this is what you do, this is what, he never instructed me. But I was always this little kid, like, watching him and like, oh yeah, I just absorbing it, right? Just absorbing what he would do with the camera, and then the results were brilliant and I loved it. And that's how I learned. But it never occurred to me, as years later, after studying marketing and branding and then working for Louis Vuitton, Moet Hennessy, that I would ever think that, hey, maybe I should try this. But it was working in corporate in LVMH in marketing that I was, I guess, bullied a bit in the role, which is fine. But it absolutely made me realize that, hey, I've got more to offer the world. Let me try my way with photography. And I said to myself, I've always said this is my mantra, my personal mantra, and this is also something for people in business to do, is think about this, is that, well, for me, is that if I was going to do something well, I'd do it well, really well. And if people didn't like it, then I'm not going to do it. And then that's just been my basis for everything I do, right? So that's photography, videography, art, different things like this. So it's something I've held a level of delivery, a level of esteem to me, my personal brand promise really.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
you're sitting in this super interesting. I see this intersection of three different areas you're sitting in. Marketing, of course, is a big one. Creativity is your other big thing with the photographer and videography, and then the third thing is technology. And you're sitting in the juxtaposition of these three disciplines, which is very unique. I mean, I'm a technologist. I can't claim to be a marketer or a creative person, and you're all three, and you're trying to combine it all. But let's talk a little bit about something you define yourself as is with personal branding. So talk about what personal branding means. What
Yeah,
is
well, personal branding. Well, when I left corporate and I developed my love for doing what I do, I really realized really fast that I had to put myself out there as somebody doing what I was doing, which was making a change, helping people with entrepreneurs, speakers, leaders, experts, consultants, all the type of people that I was making a change. I was helping them develop their brand. And it was subconsciously working with what I knew in marketing and branding that I was bringing to the lens and helping them develop their confidence and their charisma in front of the lens. And I was capturing that. And it was all of this that I'm like, I unpacked it and I went, I absolutely know how to do it with people behind the lens. Now it's just time to do it in front of the lens. And then I also didn't think as well that I was worthy of me being seen from behind the lens until a couple of years ago when I started doing, speaking globally around the world in New York. I was asked to speak about personal branding in New York and teach the Americans about personal branding. And I just went, Americans? Personal branding? Me? Aussie girl? Okay, I'll do it. And it was amazing. It was just amazing. And I was doing like master classes and helping women in business with their brand in New York. I'm like, wow, I thought that blew me away. But I've got a soft spot for them. So then it's just that personal branding and all what I've learned is really about what people say about you. And what they know about you, and then how do they articulate that, where they see you and perceive you and interpret you. So it's really quite an interesting dichotomy. Now the thing is, that's what they'll say, but there's another thing is that how are you turning up? Do you know what I mean? People will say things about you, but then how are you turning up? Are you turning up as the professional, the expert, or are you turning up as the 50-cent brand down here? So it's the people's perception of you as a business person, and it's the role of personal branding is to make it equal and elevate who you are in business and your business, who you are, what you do, and what you deliver.
Got it. So it's really important for your whatever you're doing, whether you're running a business or you're being an independent consultant, that brand is very important to you. But talk about a little bit, like, I'm a tech entrepreneur. I run a company. Why is my personal brand important as opposed to my company's brand? And what's the difference between those two things?
How interesting you just said that, right? Hold that thought. When I was writing my book, I had a lady, right? She claimed to be an expert as well, which is fine. She said, Zahrina, don't write your book and you need to, when you do, she was telling me, when I was doing my book, to just put the business name as well as the person's name in my book, because it was a full color. It's a magnetic branding. It's a full color branding book. Anyway, when the people's photos I was placing in there's a lot of photos, right? When I was putting the people's names, she said, you've got to put their business name in it. And I said, no, never. And I said, because so many variables change. Companies change, company names change, people sell, people just do so many different things with that business, right? But what sticks in the mind of everybody, human to human interaction, it's you and me. It's Vikram, it's Zahrina. You know what I mean? We're separate to our business, right? We could sell our business tomorrow, but we've always got us and our skill set and our personal brand that we can curate. We can tweak on LinkedIn. We can show up as Vikram, or we can show up as me in the way on video or in images and as a brand that we've got control over. What we don't have control over is our companies as an example, right? So that's why I talk at corporates and corporate Australia, corporates globally, about personal branding, about staff and people. Having control over your own personal brand is very important. And ways people can do that is with their blog. They can do videos and place videos within their blog about their messaging. So say, for example, someone's in corporate, right? And they're working in HR as an example. And they could be doing a blog on, the latest trends on, that are happening post-COVID, right? They could write the blog, and then they could do a video on the blog, right, about saying what they're saying. They could use Pictory as a platform to utilize the, like the ways to market themselves as a personal brand. It is so, like, I see the world as endless. Like, it's like a big bottomless pit of opportunity. It's amazing to develop a personal brand within corporate, be a personal brand as effective as an entrepreneur, as a small business, a startup. We've all got opportunities,
Yeah. And whatever your domain of influence is, I suppose you need to be known personally. Whether if you're a marketer at a company, you need to be known as an expert marketer. If you're an HR manager, like you talked about, your brand is important to the employees in your corporation. So it's important for you to be known as the expert, that the go-to person. So I see, and it's all, business is all human to human interaction, and really that's why personal branding is important.
And at the end of the day, everybody knows that the assets are the people in the business. They are the assets, and if you empower them, then they're going to be better at being a great asset and almost a great ambassador as well for your business as well. So the more, they can utilize video as well, this is so good, getting their confidence up, because there's a lot of people in business and a lot of people that are in corporates, they don't have the confidence in that to actually harness video. So that's our job, my job, and my job to absolutely help them with, Pictory as a great platform to get it out there faster, because the world is changing very fast.
So video seems like, we've talked about this a couple of times now. Video is the key here. Video is the key activity. You got to get in front of the video. You have to get in front and talk and show your face and confidently convey your points. And so it's not these faceless videos that we're talking about here. These are videos of you talking in front of the camera, talking about the subject matter that you are comfortable with.
Vikram, but to probably, I would say, let's just say 70 to 80% of the population don't want to do it, right? As an example, right? So because they might have issues, they might have beliefs, and they've got limiting beliefs holding them back. Oh, I don't want to be seen. I don't want to be seen. As a kid, someone said something to me as a kid. Oh, I've got geez, I look like this, I look like that. What are people going to say about me if I turn up on video? Oh my God, what's a family going to do? They're not going to be used to the, turning up. But what happens is that if you get help, if you really do get help, I'm talking, help to get yourself with, build your confidence and your charisma on video, then, looking back. Now, this is big part of my story. I spent years hiding in a turtle shell, not being on video, not being seen as a personal brand, not wanting to be seen. Why? Because I thought that my work should just do the work. My work, people just go to my website. Yeah, they'll go see my work, which was videos and corporates and, like personal branding and the images. And I used to think, yeah, that's fine. I'll just let the website do all the talking and all work. Well, guess what? What a mistake, hey? Because what we've come to realize is that, and we need to know, know, and trust people. The only way to know, and trust someone is absolutely through video. And if I can't get to someone in New York to stand in front of them, right, they're going to go out and seek me on LinkedIn or on my website and get to understand who I am on video and through interviews like this and podcasts and stuff like that. The thing is, right, our visual presence on video is so important. It is one of the biggest decision makers your future client and your existing clients will hook onto. And they will really, really love you for turning up, because they're going to get a lot of value and energy from you. But my story was that I never wanted to be on video. I never wanted to be seen. And that when I took I changed some things and worked on myself to go, you know what? I need to help people. And the minute I switched over to my mindset had to change about me and what I had to share around the world. And I wanted to not just serve one person in Sydney or 5 people in Melbourne, as an example, or 50 people in Australia. I am on a mission to help globally people on video and help them. So it's important that that message gets through, that I went, you know what, I'm here on the planet on my purpose is absolutely to help people be seen in confidence, be seen in their authentic self, and not be seen as something that is not them. And, like getting their message out there, getting their body energy out there on video. It is a big, there's a lot of things that people start thinking about before they switch on the button and say record on video. They go on the lighting, the setup, they're thinking about what to wear. Am I looking right? The lighting, is it right? And all these sort of things that, am I coming across like an authority? Am I coming across silly? Am I going to make a mistake what I say? And things like that. All these sort of chatter on the monkey on our shoulders is going, putting it is going to always chatter. The monkey will always be on our shoulders stopping us. But on video, if you can practice as much as you can being you without putting the pressure of yourself to say, hey, I want to put that video out in the universe on social media. Just practice in your own home, on your phone or your laptop, or where on your computer where you record, and just talk about something that really interests you. Now, I'm going to give people a bit of help here. So with content, right, and what happens is people get into overwhelm with video. And this is what I do know, because it's all part of my lessons, right? When I didn't want to be on video, I was like, because I was in overwhelm. I was in mental overwhelm going, oh my God, I've got to talk about this and that and this and that. Oh my God, I'm not going to do video. So what happened is that I started to pare back. What is it that really, at the end of the day, is stopping me? What we need to do, and this is what I really believe in, is that everybody needs to write down 5 things that they would love to talk about, or they know really well. Because the 5 things that Vikram, I can tell you, I don't know, and 5 things I know, you wouldn't know, right? So write down 5 things that you do know on a list, right? And then just talk about one of those items. One. Don't put pressure on yourself to do this, to be seen as like a perfect expert straight up. But if you talk about one thing, so you go from 5 to 1, eliminate the rest of them and just focus on one, your mind and the little monkey on your shoulder is going to relax, and you're going to feel a lot less pressure about what and how you're going to come across on video. And I think that is really a really big help, because we kind of have this expectation when we put on lights, camera, action, hair's done, lipstick's done, you don't want to be feeling that you're going to put all the self-pressure on yourself. Just talk about one thing and make things simple for yourself, because guess what? The minute you start talking about the one thing, you're going to be going and enjoying that process a lot more, because you've eliminated all the other distractions.
Yeah. Love it. That's a really good advice. Start small, baby steps, crawl, walk, and then run. Let's switch gear a little bit. So many of our clients, customers of Pictory, are small business owners, maybe individual coaches, who are trying to build their practice, build their business using video, of course. Now, there's always a balance, right? Feeding the beast that is social media requires constantly being in front of the social media, right? Constantly being maybe on camera or constantly putting content out there. Whereas you also have to spend the time serving your clients and doing your job, as opposed to marketing yourself and personal branding, like you say. So how do you find that balance, Zahrina? I would love to kind of get a little bit of insight from you as a business owner to business owner.
Yeah, no problem. You know what? It's all about planning. And you're really, at the end of the day, I'll go back to basics, and it's about your passions. If we write down what are our passions in our business, that means that we are going to achieve what's important to us at the end of the day. It's, again, eliminating from 5 to 1, right? I believe in this. I think if we can eliminate distractions, it's great. Number 1. I think number 2 is focusing on the what's at hand every 90 days. Look at every 90 days as something that you can utilize as be your funnel, be it your focus, be it your what you're launching, what you're working on. Just every 90 days is it for a project, for a launch, for whatever you want to deliver every 90 days, and then work everything around that. So instead of getting too distracted, it's just 90 days every year, and then that means that your content that for every year at the beginning of the year, like, so I'm planning 2022 now, right? So I've already got like my 90 days sorted out, what I'm going to go deep into every 90 days, what I'm going to achieve every 90 days for one purpose: for people to work with me one-on-one, for people to work with me physically one-on-one, online one-on-one, in my 9-week accelerator, video and brand accelerator program. Then I'm doing interviews and podcasts and things like that. So it's about planning and looking and chunking down your 4 main goals per year. And that is it. I'm the queen of distraction.
Yeah. And I get that. So that's a really important point. The power of one, focusing on one thing. But the thing I was talking about was more around videos and so you'll do a webinar next week, which I'm excited about. And let's say you have really good content now from that webinar, and now you want to milk that. You want to say, can I use that? Can I repurpose that in multiple ways? And that's one of the good use cases that Pictory has, that that many of our customers take their existing content, chop it up into smaller bites, post that on social media. That's a big time saver is one of the ideas.
Without a doubt, like seriously, without a doubt. So this is why. So what I just said before was step 1. Step 2 is actually chunking down. When I get to the micro and the middle level of what I want to do next, for next year, I start working on the content. All I want to do is a lot of content, or mostly on video. And so that means that my videos will be everywhere, and having that and saving it into, working that and scheduling it out on social media. And I think it's important because the way that but I guess I love the program Pictory is way that it helps with different avenues and ways to use your platform. You can be talking, you can transcription, there's articles it's great, it's so cool. So there's different ways to use the program that absolutely helps with the actioning of your content every 90 days. To me, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, repurposing is the name of the game here. Maximize the amount of work one webinar can do, maximize the amount of effect that can have, and that's what we're all about as a business, and as a business owner, you see value in this. So this is awesome. So we'll try to close this with one tip that you want to leave our audience with, something that all these business owners, these personal coaches, these marketing managers, something that they should take back and they say, it was worth my time at having heard this podcast.
It's okay to be you. It's really okay to be you. And I'm saying that from a soul level, a heartfelt level, because we go back to basics. People, including me, with my story, I was just always wrapped up going, is it going to be okay being me on video? Is it going to be okay? And you know what? At the end of the day, people are going to love you or they're not going to like you. It doesn't matter, because the people that do like you are going to be tapping into my video group, which is growing, my online Facebook video group for confidence and charisma. They're going to be tapping and reading blogs. They're going to be tapping your shoulder going, hey, I like you and I love your energy, because I know that you can take me from A to B and utopia and back, because I have this problem and I know you can take me there. So what we're here to be on this planet for is to serve people who like us, trust us, and, enjoy our company. At the end of the day, the people who as an example, who don't resonate with us or don't like us, if they see us on video or whatever that is, then they're going to fall away. And that's awesome. That is such great news, right? Because at the end of the day, we're attracting the right people into our little hemisphere, and we're growing and expanding because we're helping the right people that need the help, who are asking us. And it's so important to feel that it's okay being you. It really is.
Awesome. Being authentic, being yourself, and that's what personal branding is all about.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Awesome. Thank you, Zarina. And we're really glad to have you as a brand ambassador. We'd love to help our clients with tips and advice from you, and we'll love to continue working together.
I'm so pleased to be Pictory's ambassador, global ambassador. I am so proud of this moment. We'll do some great things together, and we're going to help people. We're going to help them from a soul level, a confidence, and a charismatic way to really feel empowered to get on video, to use Pictory, because that, quite frankly, is one of the leading programs to use.
Awesome.